Hello, this is Mr. Johnson. Doing a new approach here. We've made a lot of progress, but sometimes we need to change how we see things. And so we're going to start using more with the textbook. And we're just going to do a brief review for today, and then tomorrow we're going to start with Google Calendar. So understand, I am here. This is me. But for right now, I'm going to mainly show you the book. So one thing we've talked a lot about is our emails, and that's critical right now. You have to be able to communicate and receive communication from your teachers, whether you're in the classroom or at home. Emails are more important than ever before. They're better than snail mail. Snail mail is where you have to actually get an envelope, a piece of paper, write it out, put it in the envelope, put an address that you're sending it to, the address that you're at, and a stamp. You have to go out there to the mailbox, put it in the mail, wait till the mailman picks it up, carries it across town, and delivers it to the person. And then you have to wait on them to go out there, check their mail. It's a hassle doing snail mail or the traditional mail, as many of you may know of it as. Emails are much faster. And even then, some people feel like emails are not fast enough. They prefer only instant messenger. But emails are more formal, and you can put more into an email than you can in an instant message. So, what we're doing with our lessons right now is we're discussing emails, and we're going to talk about some things here. Now, again, this may be some review. The thing is, it's so important that we need that review. It's so important because of how you're having to communicate with your teachers, whether you're in the classroom or at home. As many of you have witnessed for the first 6 weeks, I've not asked for you to turn in any paper. Everything is online for me. Everything, you send it to me as an email or you answer the questions in Google Classroom or Google Forms. That's it. Now, some of you may like that, some of you may not. But that's what you're going to experience for the rest of your education is something like this. Now, we may go back and do, many teachers are still using paper and handing out forms, but more and more, all your tests are on a computer. So let's get familiar with this and make sure we make the most of it. So looking at this, you can see that I've got here some terms. Now, these are some terms that should already be in your word bank. So make sure, this is another one right here. You've got you've got some great terminology here that should be in your word bank. And I'll have to make sure I put it in your next word bank exam. So take a moment and do that. Now, I've turned the page. Responding to messages. And I'm going to move this over. Excuse me a moment here as I shift things around. Okay, responding to messages. Basically, let me raise this up a little bit. There we go. It's going to focus here. All right. Responding to a message or reply. You've got a couple of options here that you really have to make sure you pay attention to when you do a reply. If you do just a reply, that should be that you're just sending back to the sender. This is critical. If you're wanting to send something back to your teacher, you want to just use the reply. If you reply to all, however, then if the teacher had sent the original message out to the class, when you reply to all, that means everybody in that classroom gets that message. You don't need to share everything with everyone. So most often you want to just do the reply. The reply to all is when you need to answer. So for example, let's say the teacher's throwing a party and she wants to see if you're going to bring firecrackers. Well, she may even ask who would bring firecrackers. You could reply to the teacher, but then the other students don't know that you're willing to bring the firecrackers. So if you reply to all, then everybody else knows, hey, he's already signed up for the firecrackers. Instead, I'll bring the chips or I'll bring the soda, things like that. So that's where these can be used, and make sure you keep that in mind. Think before you act. Ask yourself, which one should I choose and why? Not just which one, but ask yourself, why do I need to choose reply? Why do I need to choose reply to? All right. Our next one is messages versus conversations. Most email service list incoming messages individually, regardless if the email is new or a response. Gmail works differently. All email messages are grouped together in conversations. A conversation is a collection of messages with the same subject line. Excellent word and definition for your word bank. Pause the video, type that in there if you don't have it already. But right there, a conversation is a collection of messages with the same subject line. So that explains how can you tell a message from a conversation. Excellent test question right there, people. That would be a really good one. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and look at the next one. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. This is something that you've already done. And I think you enjoy doing this because it just helps it make it more personal. Users can customize the Gmail window in the settings menu. This can include choosing a profile photo, setting up a signature, and selecting a theme. Customizing Gmail in these ways allows users to have it reflect their personality. So if you're really big into music, maybe there's a favorite band, you could sit there and theme your background to better represent that music genre or band. Maybe you're into sports. Maybe you're into reading or art. Any of those could be something that you reflect there in your screen. But let's go on. Once chosen, the user can decide if the photo will be sent by everyone or just people with whom the user has agreed to chat. Let's back up here for a moment. Users can select a photo that will represent them for other Gmail users. Some people choose to use a photo of themselves. Others choose a photo of an object or something that represents them. Once chosen, the user can decide if the photo will be seen by everyone or just people with whom the user has agreed to chat. So if you have a special group of friends that you chat with, then you would be able to sit there and share that photo with them, and they would understand the significance much more. However, you may want it to represent your school and you want it to go out to everyone. And then you could choose to do that where everyone sees your school or your favorite hobby of reading or baking. Maybe you like to bake. So all of those are some things that you can do. We will talk about chatting in chapter 5 and get further in depth in that. All right, your assignment. I need you to create, let me rephrase that. You need to go in and update your signature in your Gmail account. Go to Settings, General, Signature, and in there, you're going to be able to find what you have already set up. If you don't have anything set up, go ahead and put in your name, your grade level. I wouldn't put in your age, but your grade level. You can put in what school you go to. Maybe just think of some things that you would like to be in your signature. But of anything you choose, make sure it's school appropriate. You're going to be sharing this email signature every time you send an email out. I also, so that I can grade it, I need you to do a screenshot of your signature. Send it to me by email. Make sure that you have your subject line correctly done. If you have questions, let me know. I hope all of you are doing well. You're missed here at school. Make sure you respect yourself, your family, and other people, and wear your mask correctly. Make sure it's covering the nose. See you soon.